7 years ago, I started my first bullet journal, and it completely changed my life. A bullet journal is a blank notebook that you turn into your own custom creative planning system. So it's a planner, diary, sketchbook, scrapbook, and anything else you need it to be, all in one notebook. I discovered bullet journaling back in 2016 while I was struggling to keep up with the demands of being a full-time engineering student in college. One fateful day while watching YouTube, I discovered bullet journaling, and a few weeks later, I bought a notebook and I started my very first bullet journal. Instantly, my life started to improve. Not only was I more productive and went from failing to acing my classes, but I also saw a drastic upswing in my mental health as the time I spent journaling gave me a much-needed creative outlet, and it kept me present and aware. That's why more than 7 years later, I am still bullet journaling, and I've made it my mission to make bullet journaling fun, accessible, and inviting to anyone who wants to give it a try. So with all that being said, today I'm going to show you 5 easy bullet journal spreads, perfect for beginners, to illustrate a few different ways you can use your journal and give you some spread ideas that you can try for yourself. I'm all for supplies that help make bullet journaling fun and easy, so I'm going to be using some of my handmade planner stickers in these spreads, including my brand new Panda themed sticker collection. I've also listed a beginner panda bundle that includes every sticker sheet in this video. You can find all my stickers at PlanningWithKay.com, and the link is in the description below. The first spread I'm going to show you today is a simple monthly calendar spread. If you're setting up your first bullet journal and you don't know where to start, I highly recommend keeping it simple and beginning with a calendar for the current month. A quick tip, especially when starting out, try using a pencil and a ruler to measure and sketch things out. I'm using a standard 5mm dot grid notebook here, which is the most popular choice for bullet journaling, and the dots are always 5mm or half a centimeter apart. So I like to line up the centimeter side of a ruler with the dots to help make measurements a little bit easier, and sketching things out with my pencil ensures that I'm not making any mistakes early on. Now for this calendar, each day is getting a box that is 6 spaces wide by 6 spaces tall, or 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters. You just saw me sketch out all the measurements with my pencil, so now I can use my black pen to draw in my calendar right over the sketch. I'm pushing this calendar to the bottom left corner so that way it leaves space on the top and right side of the spread. Now with a Crayola marker, I'm adding a stripe to the top of each week, which gives it a really nice pop of color, and then writing the dates right over top. Now we just need our days of the week at the top of the calendar. Of course, you could just write these in with that black pen or your marker, but I'm going to use some of my weekly header stickers instead. If you do want an idea for a fun font that you can use in your bullet journal that I think is pretty beginner friendly, here's a fun bubble letter style for this February header, just using that green marker again to write some big capital letters, and then outlining the letters with my black pen, not worrying about it being too perfect as messiness just adds to the font style. Now on the right side, we're left with this nice big open column, which I'm going to use for a monthly task list with 3 different categories: priority, work, and personal. As I create these spreads, remember that your bullet journal is meant to be catered to your own personal needs and preferences. So please take everything I do with a big grain of salt and do not be afraid to customize or modify these layouts. For example, this column here can be used for so many different things: a monthly bill schedule, a list of school assignments, a spot for jotting down memories throughout the month. No matter what you try, the key to bullet journaling is experimenting and finding what works best for you. At this point, you could leave this spread as is for a more minimal look, or if you want some decoration, you can draw in your own doodles, print out photos online, cut things out of magazines, use stickers, stamps, or washi tape. I'm definitely a sticker girl, so I'm going to decorate all of my spreads today with my new panda stickers. For each of these spreads today, I'm also going to fill each one out as a demonstration so you can see an example of what the spread actually looks like in action. And that's it for this simple calendar spread. Let's move on to the next one. The second easy bullet journal spread I'm going to set up is a bi-weekly spread, which simply means one spread with 2 weeks on it. One of the biggest mistakes beginner bullet journalists make is trying too much too soon, which makes the habit of bullet journaling consistently really difficult to keep up with. When starting out especially, I recommend starting small with as few spreads as possible, and you can always add more spreads the next month as you find you actually need them. This is a great beginner spread for weekly planning because this one simple spread will last you 2 full weeks, making it a little easier to keep up with. To fit 2 weeks here, I'm simply splitting the whole spread in half, so 1 week will be on the top and 1 week on the bottom. For each week, I'm drawing out a long rectangle split into 7 columns, and each day gets a column that's 6 spaces wide by 14 spaces tall. These columns are where you're going to write in your daily events, tasks, notes, memories, journal entries, anything else you're wanting to keep track of on this spread. Once again, I'm going to use some Crayola markers and my panda stickers to jazz this spread up and make it look fun, because let's be real, a huge reason why bullet journaling works is because it looks fun. The decoration that I add to my spreads isn't pointless. It makes me more eager to come back to them, and changing up my decorative theme each month makes my spreads continue to feel fresh and exciting year after year. Now I'm just filling the spread up with some examples, and again, remember that these spreads can be used any way that you want. Yes, you can write in to-do lists and events, but you can also use these sections for meal planning, journaling, reflecting after each day, jotting down memories, gratitude lists, keeping track of weather, books you're reading, your mood. The possibilities are truly endless. And with that, this bi-weekly spread is complete. Now we've looked at a spread for monthly planning, one for weekly planning. So let's move on to daily planning with a spread of half-page dailies. For me personally, daily logs were at the core of my first bullet journal. A daily log is simply a larger space dedicated to a single day. If you're new to bullet journaling, I know that the thought of monthly or weekly planning can be a bit overwhelming, so a great way to start simple is with some daily logs. You don't have to wait for next week or next month to start. You don't have to worry about keeping up with a spread for multiple days, or worry about a weekly spread not working out for you only to be stuck with it for the rest of the week. Daily logs allow you to focus on one day at a time, and if your daily log didn't work for you, it's only a day and you can adapt your setup for the next day. This first page of dailies I'm showing you are horizontal style, meaning I split the page in half, so one day is on top and one day is on bottom. For this demonstration, I'm setting all these daily logs up at once, but in practice, especially if you're just getting started, I recommend setting up your dailies one at a time, either the night before or the actual morning of that day. This way, if there's anything that you liked or didn't like about a certain daily log, you can just adjust accordingly for the next day. It's going to take you a while to find exactly how your bullet journal best works for you, so factoring in some adaptability and flexibility is always a good thing. For each of those dailies on the left page, I included a task list on the left, and then I showed a couple examples of other sections you could include on the right, like a spot to write in a daily summary and a space for daily meal planning. Now on the right page, I'm showing you 2 more half-page dailies, this time in a vertical style, meaning that the page is split in half, so one day is on the left and one day is on the right, giving each day a nice long column. I love vertical style daily logs like this because of how much room they give me for a variety of sections and uses. On the left, I'm showing an example that has some pre-set up sections, an hourly schedule at the top, a task list in the middle, and a gratitude section on bottom. On the right, I'm showing more of a free-flowing, flexible daily log example without any predefined sections, so it more so resembles as if you set this daily log up with just the date at the top and you left the rest empty so you could just fill it in gradually throughout the day. So in this example, I started at the top with some of my big tasks and events for the day. I doodled a quote in the middle to practice my lettering, and then at the bottom, I did a little reflective journaling at the end of the day. And that's it for this spread of half-page dailies. The next spread I'm going to show you is another variation of daily logs, and that's some full-page dailies. Again, I think dailies are some of the best spreads that you can use when you first start bullet journaling, so I thought it would be worth it to show some full-page examples as well. I did so many full-page dailies in my very first bullet journal, and it was the perfect way for me to get into a daily journaling habit in a way that was flexible and fun. As long as you have the date at the top, you really can't go wrong with full-page dailies, and you can fill this page with anything your heart desires. Personally, I love utilizing the extra space with an hourly schedule. For this first daily, I've got a schedule on the left and then a task list on the right, and the task list actually corresponds to the time of day on the schedule. This is a really easy way to categorize tasks based on when you'll complete them, in the morning, afternoon, or evening, and it can really help you to navigate how feasible your to-do list is around your appointments and events. On the right, I'm showing a little bit of a different daily example, and that's a daily printable from my $1 Patreon tier. Printable journal pages and spreads are a great resource, especially if you need to set up a page in a rush or you're a beginner looking for some fresh ideas. I have over 500 printables on my Patreon that you can gain instant access to anytime you're interested, and the link is down in the description. I personally recommend buying some sticker paper to use in your bullet journal. I'll link my favorite sticker paper in the description as well. Not only can you print printables like this on sticker paper and stick them right in, but sticker paper is also really great for printing and sticking anything into your journal, like photo memories, documents, online images, etc., without needing any glue or tape. In this example, I'm highlighting how a simple layout can really transform depending on how you fill it out. This page includes an hourly schedule and homework list, a top 3 task list, and a separate box for some daily journaling. And with that, that's it for this spread of full page dailies. I'm now moving on to the 5th and final spread in this video, and that is a simple habit tracker. Now, it needs to be said that I do think that habit tracking is actually one of the more advanced things you can do in your bullet journal, and keeping up with a habit tracker is really difficult, but it's also one of the most popularized and well-known parts of bullet journaling. Because of that, I think a lot of people have this idea that bullet journaling has to include habit tracking, and that is simply not the case. If you find habit trackers don't work for you, don't force it. It's totally okay. But if you do want to find a way to work habit tracking into your system, here's an idea of a simple habit tracking spread with a few different style of trackers that may work for you. I split the spread into 2 big rows. In the top row, I'm going to include my daily habits, meaning habits that ideally I would like to complete every day. For these types of habits, I like to use a calendar to track them, but I hate drawing calendars by hand, so I prefer to use either stickers or stamps. Today, I'm using stickers, and I just need 3 for 3 different habits. Start simple here. Again, if this is your first habit tracker, you don't want to overload yourself with 20, 30 different things. Start with just a few, and then work up from there if it's working for you. For these daily habits, I imagine somebody who's trying to do a better job of keeping their home tidy. So I have dishes, laundry, and sweeping, and you'll color in the day on the calendar each time you complete said habit. I think one of the things that really trips people up about habit trackers is needing to come back and fill in the spread every single day. It's a lot to remember, especially if you're just starting to foster your journaling habit. So I'm also going to show a couple examples of habits that don't require daily tracking. Firstly, in the bottom left, I'm showing weekly habits, or habits you only need to complete once a week. For these, I'm just drawing 5 little circles next to each habit for the 5 weeks of the month. And then as the month goes on, I'll fill in the circle for each week that I complete that habit. I love that this type of tracker is more flexible and open-ended, as it really only requires like a weekly check-in, and it enables you to get these habits done on whatever day works best for you throughout the week. Finally, in the bottom right, I'm creating a space for once-a-month habits, or habits that I only need to do, you guessed it, once a month. This is a great way to keep track of sometimes forgotten tasks that only need to be completed once in a while, like changing your sheets, deep cleaning, paying certain bills. And you can also include fun habits on all of these as reminders to do some good, fun things for yourself each month, like deep conditioning your hair, taking a day off, or starting a new book. So there we have daily, weekly, and once-a-month habit trackers. Here I have them all together on the same spread, but if certain trackers are calling to you while others aren't, make sure you adapt your habit tracking page to only include what's going to work for you. And with that, that's it for these 5 easy bullet journal spreads perfect for beginners. Remember that the word easy is totally relative, so please don't be discouraged if these spreads don't seem easy. I promise that if you stick with your bullet journal through the awkwardness and mistakes, setting up spreads you love will get easier and easier. And slowly but surely, you'll develop a system that really works for you. I hope that this video gave you some ideas and inspiration for your next bullet journal spreads. And if you're considering starting your first bullet journal, take this as a sign to jump in. All the stickers I used today are available in my sticker shop, PlanningWithKay.com, and I created a sticker bundle for $30 that includes every sticker sheet I used today. All the links to my sticker shop, Patreon, and supplies will be in the description below. All that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like the video. Subscribe for more bullet journaling content. Join my Patreon for printables and automatic sticker deliveries. And follow me on Instagram to keep up with me. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.